So there is definitely a difference also regarding this to men and women. And for women, this will be more focused around the period. But this is, of course, not controllable like a man's release of semen. So the time around your period would be a time where you most likely want to adjust practices and flow with that energy that that brings. And other times in your cycle might be times where you have elevated energy, elevated creativity. Um, what is for everyone, both male and female, a way to be more contained with this energy is to learn to move beyond uh, lust that stays stuck in the lowest centers, and to have our experience of intimacy be one that is more rooted in the heart. So, on a practical level, what this means is if we are stuck in lust, it often means we're stuck in certain fantasies in a very um, physical, animal based way of feeling this part of ourselves. When we begin to sublimate that, if you want to speak of it in that terms, to higher centers, again, if you want to speak about it in those kinds of terms, it will be the internal shift how we also spiritually deal with that. So we are not just fantasizing or um, looking for quick pleasures extracted from others. It is more of a union experience with a beloved. Uh, or at least that is the only desire we are still interested in cultivating, even if there's no beloved around. Uh, so, ceasing to watch pornography, um, being mindful of what kind of thoughts we are entertaining, and um, for men to not release their semen will be powerful ways to contain this energy and to accumulate it. And it's also important to see that there's not really a difference between any kind of sexual energy and any other form of life force, which can be also be in the forms of creative energy. You know, people that are creating paintings or music, they are doing that from an abundance of life force. But also our ability to meditate actually has so much to do with our life force. If there's no life force, our mind is dull. If there is more life force that is stabilized, our mind is also awake. So, containing life force and sexual energy is a very holistic practice. Containing sexual energy has to be seen inside uh, a, a whole body of practice, which includes also how we eat, how we sleep, uh, how we choose things that feel in alignment and in integrity, how we stop doing things that feel out of integrity, because these are also things that build or deplete life force. So it's one very holistic practice, and containing sexual energy is just a part of this full holistic practice. That's really important to see it like that. Then, if we are learning to accumulate life force, if we get more in touch with how it feels when life force builds and when it depletes, so if we learn to accumulate that, build that on the inside, we will find that over time, as we become more skilled in containing it, it will begin to naturally become creativity. It will become naturally vitality. It will become naturally our radiance, our magnetism in the world, um, in very subtle, powerful ways. And this is not such a linear thing as we sometimes think. It's not always like I contain my energy now and I immediately have an effect. It's also it's like that, and it's also a longer process, a process that takes place not just over minutes and hours, but over days, weeks, months, years.